Have you ever noticed how two people can face the exact same crisis, yet respond in completely different ways? One person stays calm, thinks clearly, and takes action. The other feels overwhelmed, freezes, or panics. At first glance, it might seem like confidence or natural talent, but psychology tells a very different story. The ability to stay calm under pressure is not something people are simply born with. It is a mental skill shaped by the brain, past experiences, and habits that anyone can develop. Pressure changes the way your brain works. Imagine you're about to give an important presentation, take a crucial exam, or deal with an unexpected emergency. Your heart beats faster, your breathing becomes shallow, and your thoughts begin to race. This happens because your brain detects a possible threat, even if your life is not actually in danger. Within seconds, the amygdala, the brain's emotional alarm system, activates the fight or flight response. This reaction helped our ancestors survive predators, but in modern life, it can make ordinary challenges feel overwhelming.
The surprising part is that the calmest people are not free from this biological response. Their brains experience the same physical changes. The difference lies in what happens next. Instead of allowing fear to take control, they have trained another part of the brain, called the prefrontal cortex. This region is responsible for reasoning, planning, and making thoughtful decisions. When it remains active, emotions are balanced with logic instead of replacing it. Think about firefighters entering a burning building or experienced surgeons performing delicate operations. They are not fearless. They still feel stress. But repeated exposure has taught their brains that pressure does not automatically mean danger. Over time, situations that once felt terrifying become familiar. Their minds learn to stay focused because experience replaces uncertainty with confidence. This explains why panic often comes from the unknown. When your brain lacks a clear plan, it fills the gaps with worst-case scenarios. Uncertainty creates mental noise, making every problem seem larger than it really is. The less predictable a situation feels, the more powerful your emotional response becomes. In contrast, people who prepare in advance reduce uncertainty before pressure even arrives. There is another psychological habit that separates calm people from anxious ones. They pay attention to what they can control instead of what they cannot. During stressful moments, many people waste energy worrying about outcomes they have no power over. They imagine failure, rejection, or disaster before anything has actually happened. This creates a loop where anxiety feeds itself. Calm thinkers interrupt that loop. They shift their focus toward the next useful action. Instead of asking, "What if everything goes wrong?" they ask, "What is the next step I can take right now?" This simple change directs attention away from imagined problems and toward practical solutions. Psychologists often describe this as moving from threat-focused thinking to task-focused thinking.
Professional athletes demonstrate this principle every day. Before a major competition, they cannot control the weather, the crowd, or their opponents. What they can control is their breathing, preparation, technique, and mindset. By concentrating on these controllable actions, they prevent unnecessary anxiety from consuming their mental energy. Breathing itself also plays a remarkable role. When people panic, they naturally breathe faster and more shallowly. Unfortunately, this sends signals back to the brain that reinforce the feeling of danger. Slow, controlled breathing does the opposite. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps reduce stress and restore mental clarity. Something as simple as taking slow, deep breaths for a minute can significantly improve your ability to think under pressure. Another powerful factor is the story you tell yourself. Imagine making a mistake during an important meeting. One person thinks, "I've ruined everything." Another thinks, "That wasn't perfect, but I can recover." The event is identical, but the interpretation is completely different. Your brain reacts not only to events themselves, but also to the meaning you assign to them. This is why changing your inner dialogue can dramatically change your emotional response. Research in psychology consistently shows that resilience is built through repeated recovery, not through avoiding difficulties.
Every challenge you overcome teaches your brain that you are more capable than you previously believed. Confidence is rarely created before action. More often, it is created because of action.
So if you sometimes panic under pressure, it doesn't mean you are weak. It simply means your brain is trying to protect you using ancient survival mechanisms. The good news is that your brain is remarkably adaptable. Every time you prepare, practice, breathe calmly, and focus on what you can control, you strengthen the mental pathways that support resilience. Over time, staying calm becomes less of a struggle and more of a habit. The next time life puts you under pressure, remember this: calmness is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to keep moving even while fear is present. The strongest minds are not those that never feel stress, but those that have learned how to guide their thoughts when stress appears. And that is a skill available to anyone willing to practice it. If you enjoyed exploring the psychology behind everyday behavior, subscribe for more videos that uncover how your mind really works. Every episode is designed to help you understand yourself better and use that knowledge to live with greater clarity, confidence, and purpose.